On this episode of the Virtual Press Box, it is a very, very special episode. There is no sports talk this week. It is specific a NFL redraft of the 2007 NFL Draft, the entire first round. I am joined by Nick, Griffin, and Drake. But before we get into it, let's hear from Nick with W Energy.
That's right. When it's time to pay the bills around the Virtual Press Box office, it always comes back to W Energy Drink and their patented jitter-free formula. We've tasted it numerous times. They have so many different flavors to choose from. My personal favorite is the Tiger's Blood, but again, find your own. That's what W Energy is all about, finding what works for you. No matter what flavor you go with, if you do a trial pack, they come with their own shaker cup. But when you get to checkout, the main thing is use our discount code to get 10% off. That's VPB2023. That's for the Virtual Press Box, and you will not be disappointed.
Welcome back to the Virtual Press Box. I'm your host, Ricky Ramos, and as always, I'm joined by Nick Berry. Nick, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good, man. Top of the ninth, game 2 of a doubleheader. Cubs keep.
All right, Griffin, how are you doing tonight?
Wow.
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. We're hanging in there.
We are. Drake, how are you? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a few months, but I'm doing all right. You know, the Braves are kind of making me sweat these last like 12 games. So,
you guys.
For people who don't know, Drake was a couple years ago super on a high with Florida basketball. The Lagway season loading didn't quite go the way he thought it was going to go, so that fell. The Braves literally drove their team bus off a cliff last year. And then this year, all we've had in the group chat is somebody talking absolute smack because of the way the Braves started the season. And finally, they seem to have cooled off a little bit.
Yes, injuries have caught up to them for sure. You guys had no
smack.
It was nightly. Ronald Acuna Jr. MVP. Matt Olson is sexy. This don't even.
Wait, hold on, Ricky. Moment of silence. Dansby Swanson's at bat right now. You might want to tune in.
I'm good. But today is a very, very special episode, something I've wanted to do for a long time. I'm actually very excited about all of this. It is a redraft of the 2007 draft. So anybody that is eligible to get drafted, they can be drafted.
And before anybody panics, he meant the first round of the draft.
You don't want to do 244?
We're not sitting here for 3 days going through all 7 rounds.
Come on, I got my war room full of stuff in here, like, come on.
And
Yeah,
just
tomorrow is round 2 and 3.
I want to draft Mr. Irrelevant.
And just so we're clear, Sorsby's not eligible for this draft either. So,
okay. By the way, him and his lawyer trying to go to a judge about this when NFL's like, we're fine.
The fact that he thought the NFL was a guy going through all this public spotlight with the gambling thing, that he really thought the NFL would be like, yeah, we're going to take you. We're good with that.
Yeah.
It was crazy to begin with. And now that he's surprised they said no and he wants to fight it, I'm like, come on.
I mean, look at how hard they were on Calvin Ridley a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's his Jameson Williams?
Williams, yeah. Calvin Ridley didn't do himself any favors. His FanDuel account name was like Calvin Ridley 12.
Well, I mean, just because you can play ball doesn't mean you're necessarily the brightest bulb in the box there.
Ain't that the truth? There's a lot of football players. You're like, are you really thinking with your head here? But that's the fun thing we got to do now.
Well, say, and with this, honestly, we talked about it. You could probably do it with the NBA first round, but other than that, you're not redrafting an NHL draft or an MLB draft just because it's. I mean,
because it's there. Yeah, no.
So you could really only do this with the NFL and NBA. So I mean, it's kind of a.
Drake will understand this. We do not need to do a MLB 2016 draft.
Yeah.
That's the worst draft in MLB history. I swear to God.
Okay.
Like the highest WAR of anybody is like 3 in that draft.
Well, let me just say the 2007 NFL draft does have a few stars in it, but man, it is kind of brutal after the first.
I'd say after like pick 10, it's a huge fall off. It gets rough a little bit.
Well, the crazy thing is it goes from Hall of Famers to like laughing stocks or, horror stories for the draft. Like there's no in between. There's no guys that are like just solid players. It's either you were amazing Hall of Fame level or you were a joke.
Yeah, that's the fun part. And that's what we're going to do. But before we get on to that, let's hear what I have to say about the socials and where to find us. For everybody that is looking to find the Virtual Press Box on social media, it is Facebook at Virtual Press Box, Instagram and TikTok at virtual.press.box. And to listen to the Virtual Press Box, we are on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts under Virtual Press Box.
I just want to point out real quick. Also, because it took a lot. There's some teams on my list because we broke it up. There's 32 teams, 4 of us, so each of us got 8 teams. Tried to make it fair. Each of us got our favorite team, with the exception of Drake, because you can't draft Florida, obviously. So, but you have to try. So, like for example, I have the Vikings, and I despise the Vikings, but I at least have to make an attempt at that. I can't just give them like the worst guy in the draft.
So you can't give them Jamarcus Russell.
I didn't name names. I just
Just so you guys know, in real life, a few months before this, the Gators won the national championship. So,
oh my God, this guy doesn't stop. He has no quit. He has no quit.
Actually, not only that, a few days before this, I believe we won it in basketball as well. So.
You did. That
was back to back. So
it was back to back with Al Horford, Corey Brewer, Joakim Noah. Love Joakim Noah.
Fortunately, I was only 5, so
I remember watching it. But
I just want to, before we jump into this, because once this gets going, there's no stopping it. Our guy Swanson did come through again with 2
you
RBIs.
guys are 10-5. Yeah,
2 RBIs in the top of the 9. So yeah, it's hey, Bo Bichette did homer though. I mean that's good for you guys.
Fuck Bo. Good, he can hit all the home runs he wants. He could be Barry Bonds until July 31st, so we can trade him off. That's what I want.
Okay. Well, now we can get back to the draft. So we did it somewhat arbitrarily. Actually, Drake ended up with the number 1 pick, if I remember correctly, right? Yeah.
Yes. So, Drake, you have the first overall pick. Who are the Oakland Raiders selecting in the redraft?
Well, I gotta say this guy's one of the greatest freak of natures I've ever seen on a football field before. I believe this guy holds the record for most receiving yards in a season. So, with that being said, with the first overall pick, the Oakland Raiders select Kelvin Johnson.
All right, Kelvin. Yeah, I mean, well, I would have went somewhere else, but that's just me.
And just for comparison, that year the Raiders, with their first pick, took Jamarcus Russell. Everybody knows that, but just so we can kind of keep it, how it was. So they went Jamarcus Russell, a clear upgrade to future Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson. I mean,
yes,
he is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the time, though.
Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, I mean, a guy who, I don't know how long was Jamarcus in the league. He ended up with
2009,
4,000 yards, 4,000 yards total in his career, 18 touchdowns, 23 interceptions. He played 31 games, which is shocking because I didn't think he played that many games.
No, not at all.
But yeah, Calvin Johnson, I mean, instantly makes the Raiders better.
In some degrees.
Yeah. The only knock on Calvin is that he didn't play long enough. He only played 8 years, I think.
He played until 2015. So it's only because they didn't give him his money. Like, it was owed bonus money. They didn't give it to him. But whatever.
Well, also playing in Detroit at that time, 8 years is like 16 years.
It's a miracle. Like, at this point, Stafford's like in year 30, like in real life.
Yeah.
But, all right, so Griffin
they went 0-16
now gets
with
Detroit.
this guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's how they get Matthew Stafford, though.
All right, so Griffin's up. You have the Lions with the second pick.
I'm taking the Lions with the second pick, where they originally drafted Calvin Johnson. But I'm going to go ahead and take a Hall of Fame tackle, Joe Thomas.
Okay.
You can't go wrong there. You can't go wrong. He didn't miss a snap in his entire career, and he played until 2017.
And he made, I think, 8 or 9 Pro Bowls. Played 10 years.
Yeah, he's an all-pro guy. Like, you cannot go wrong with this pick. Never got hurt. He told a story about how he literally met one of his QBs in the huddle on the field in Cleveland.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and take a Hall of Fame offensive tackle, Joe Thomas.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there.
So I have, let's see, pick number 3, which is the Cleveland Browns. And sadly, I don't think I'm fixing their quarterback woes in this draft, because this draft did not offer a lot by the way of quarterbacks. But what it did offer is something they definitely needed, which is defensive back help. And there is a Hall of Famer sitting right here that there's no way Cleveland passes him up. Darrelle Revis is a Cleveland Brown. Maybe he's not a Hall of Famer if he ends up going to Cleveland in real life, but yeah, he's going to Cleveland.
I will
say, killed me, Nick.
Yeah, no, you should have seen Ricky's reaction to that. The entire build-up in this process, he says,
well, I got to tell you,
taken first.
Cleveland's 2 biggest needs that year were offensive line, which they took Joe Thomas originally, and defensive back. So when you took Joe Thomas, I was like, well, I mean, there are some other good offensive linemen in this draft, but needing defensive back help, you can't pass that.
You shot me right here. Right here. One of my favorite defensive players ever, Darrelle Revis. Oh man, that's who I had the Bucs taking originally. But plans change. So they might have signed a few running backs this offseason. They signed Ernest Graham, and they also had Cadillac Williams, but there's also a clear upgrade in Adrian Peterson. I'm not saying I'm taking Adrian Peterson, that's who's there. But here's the thing. They have an aging linebacking crew, so I'm going Patrick Willis.
Patrick Willis.
Can't go wrong with that one.
No.
But that guy only played like what?
He played until 2014. But he retired early due to concussions.
8 Pro Bowls or something like that?
Yeah, he retired due to
7 Pro Bowls, 112 games. But he's a guy that can still tie his shoes and remembers his name, and which is what he
had a lot
wanted.
of money.
Luke Kuechly was the same thing. That's what they wanted. They wanted to make sure that they had their faculties intact when they were older, and can't fault them for that.
Yes.
So Patrick Willis, again, a guy, one of those guys that a lot of people forget about just because he didn't play long enough. But I mean, absolute stud on the field.
Oh yeah, he was really, really good. He's a Hall of Famer for a reason. Like, I mean, nothing needs to be said anymore. But pick 5, Arizona Cardinals, Drake.
Honestly, kind of shocked that he was here, but I'm glad he is, so I can take him. But this guy, I think it still remains the last guy to ever win an MVP that's not a quarterback. The last skill position player to win it. And that's Adrian Peterson going to the Cardinals. 5.
You can't go wrong there. I mean, when did they get Edgerrin James, Arizona? Is that 2008? 2009?
That is the year they go to the Super Bowl against Pittsburgh.
So 09, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, and actually, maybe if you go Adrian Peterson here, you don't end up going 7 running backs in 2026.
They originally went tackle here.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
Levi
originally
Brown.
drafted Levi Brown. I mean, he was serviceable
Well-
until 2013, but
Out of Penn State.
Well, one thing I will say, I hope in this timeline he doesn't beat his kid. But
Oh, that's there's that.
You know-
yeah,
you know-
there's that.
I mean, Peterson did play for the Cardinals at one point in his career. He caused Chris Johnson to get
it's
cut
right. Yeah, that is
after
right.
Chris Johnson was like, "Hey, this guy should be on an NFL team." After Adrian Peterson leaves the Saints in the middle of the year, Chris Johnson's like, "Hey, he should have a job," and they go, Cardinals like, "You know what? He should have a job, but he's taking your job."
All right, so we're on to pick number 6. The Washington, at the time, Redskins, now Commanders.
Don't sue us.
The team went 5-11 last year. Originally, they drafted what was his name?
Laurent Landry.
LaRon Landry. The pair with Sean Taylor. Okay,
Rest in
but
peace.
leading was it week 3 of the season? Sean Taylor gets killed. So I'm still taking a safety, just not LaRon Landry. And it's Eric Weddle.
Oh,
Mm. You can't go wrong there.
that's
That's a-
first. That's the first guy that was originally taken outside the first round that were taken in the first round.
Yes. That'd be a few
I mean,
more of
with good
those.
reason. With good reason. I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think he will at least be able to lock one of the safety positions up with
Oh,
Sean Taylor's disappearance.
1,000%.
Yeah,
Eric
so-
Weddle is just great.
6-time Pro Bowler. Yeah.
He came out of retirement after being retired for a full year. Plays only the Super Bowl for the Rams.
Also has one of the best beards in NFL history.
Yes, he did. He had a nice beard in
Wore-
Baltimore.
He wore no gloves too.
Yeah.
No.
Like a
Gross.
true man.
So, all right. So, Nick, you have Minnesota here with
Yeah,
no
so-
Adrian Peterson.
The Vikings have a clear need at running back, which would have been nice to continue going with what they had set up originally, but can't do that. The Vikings also need the defensive back help and wide receiver help. So, this is where things start getting a little tricky for them. And, I mean, there's just not, like I was talking about this, it starts to drop off a little bit. So honestly, as much as I want to go with somebody like former NXT superstar Sabby Piscatelli, I'm going to go, honestly, still with, I think he would end up having a better career in Minnesota than what he had. But, I mean, just run the ball. I mean, 4th and 1, Super Bowl on the line, you just run the ball. You still need a running back. It's hard to miss with
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch.
It is hard to miss on Marshawn Lynch.
I
Now,
know,
side
I'd like
note, Sabby Piscatelli is winning at life. He is engaged to Mandy Rose, so good
Yeah.
for him.
I'd kind of like to see Marshawn Lynch in the Minnesota community too, like just that whole, that whole wholesome, don't you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I think he'd be amazing.
But that's a great pick. I mean, they still need a running back. That's the second best running back on there. Still has over 10,000 rushing yards in his career. So now here am I with pick 8 with the Atlanta Falcons. Now I just want to go into the Atlanta Falcons this offseason. 2007 offseason, they hire Bobby Petrino, a head coach. 5 years, $75 million. Bobby Petrino is infamous for leaving, I think, Arkansas? We're correct? Is it Arkansas?
Yeah, Arkansas.
Yeah, leaving Arkansas after he had an affair with a staff member.
After
And crashed his motorcycle.
He crashed his motorcycle with his affairee on the bike with him.
You can say whore.
does the-
It's fine. You can say whore. It's fine.
With his guma on the bike, and then does the press conference with the neck brace, looking like dog shit, literal like raw hamburger beef on his face. Leaves, goes to the Falcons, signs a 5-year deal. Leaves Atlanta in December, resigns, they go 3-10 so far in the year. Before the draft, they trade Matt Schaub to Houston. They swap first-round picks, and they get Houston's pick, and Matt Schaub goes to Houston. So they swap 2 picks, and Schaub goes to Houston.
The best part about how he resigned, though, with Atlanta was he hung a note up in the locker room.
Yeah.
While the guys were still out on the field after a game. He made it back to the locker room before them, left a note in the locker room, and dipped. That's how he resigned. That's how he let his team know.
That's like some Bill Belichick stuff. Except his was on a napkin.
Yeah. It's just...
And then what makes this offseason even better, 2 months after the draft, Michael Vick gets arrested.
Yeah, it's not ideal situation for you as the new GM of Atlanta.
No, because there's no quarterback to take. As you said, this is literally the best quarterback in this draft class is Trent Edwards. Next to Matt Moore, who's undrafted.
Hey, maybe Brady Quinn had a different situation. Maybe he,
Oh, okay. They need pass rush here. Defensive. They need defense badly.
Yes.
I'm going Lawrence Timmons.
Oh, okay.
What is it for Lawrence Timmons? I have his stats right here. He ended up getting selected 15th, so he gets picked a little earlier. But he ended up playing 172 games with 35.5 sacks. That is, that's nothing to sneeze at, especially for someone that's needing a linebacker edge rusher.
Yeah, again, he's one of those guys out of Florida State that was just his NFL career, like his college career. He was just a solid player. He's not a future Hall of Famer, but he's one of those guys, the few guys in this draft that kind of just fits right in the middle.
He does, and he plays forever. Like he doesn't get he stayed in Pittsburgh forever. But now we go back to Drake with Miami.
Yeah, originally Miami took a receiver here, but for this redraft, I actually have them going with an interior offensive lineman. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think this guy was originally like a 3rd or 4th rounder. But with that being said, Marshall Yanda.
Marshall Yanda. Yeah.
Yes.
He's very consistent.
So good.
13 years, very critical in their Super Bowl run with the Ravens. So
yes.
Yeah, he was actually a 3rd-round pick to the Ravens.
Yes.
I know it was late.
8-time Pro Bowler, 177 career starts.
That's great. That's what you want.
He was on my whiteboard, so appreciate that, Drake.
You hate to see the whiteboard just getting erased. But now here we are with pick 10 with Griffin Fountain with the Houston Texans, and this guy they drafted, Amobi Okoye, was just one of the worst draft picks ever in the top 10.
Yes. They went 6-10 this year, landed number 10 overall pick, and they got drafted. I'm pretty sure he didn't play a single down of football leading up into it, but he was like 19 years old when they drafted him. I think he's the youngest draft pick ever.
Yeah, he's one of the young. Yeah, he's 20 when he's drafted.
Okay.
The guy they originally drafted?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So their biggest needs was offensive line, defensive line. They kind of needed a little bit of help everywhere. They weren't great. But I want to go with Joe Staley, offensive tackle.
Staley. Yeah, Joe Staley was somebody who I might thought. Joe Staley was like somebody I was like, you know what? He might slip through the cracks as an offensive lineman. But yeah, Joe Staley, welcome to Houston. You are blocking for Matt Schaub. Hopefully Schaub, with you blocking for him, doesn't lead to the same fate as David Carr.
Is that something, though? Staley and Yanda back-to-back?
Yeah. Staley was at least a 1st-round pick. He goes to San Fran, and I think he only plays in San Fran.
Yes. Yeah. He did.
Played until 2019. That's great.
Yeah, well, that's 12 years as a tackle.
07, 19? Yeah, I think so. But 13, 12. But Nick, here you are now with San Fran.
Well, for people who don't know, San Francisco had 2 first-round picks. I get one of them. Ricky has one later. Originally, they took Patrick Willis and Joe Staley. And if you've been following along, both those guys are off the board. So 2 of the biggest needs for the 49ers that year were left tackle and middle linebacker. And we're currently have none of those available. So that's fantastic. The best offensive lineman that's left right now is an interior offensive lineman, so not really going to help. Another need they could go would be wide receiver. Really not a lot of that left. The best wide receiver that's left or 2 best receivers that are left are arguably second-round guys, maybe at bottom end of the first-round guys. This is just brutal. I might need to take the full 5 minutes here. So,
as Nick looks around, the 2 wideouts he's referencing that are bottom tier first round picks are Dwayne Bowe and James Jones.
Oh no, I was referring to Ted Ginn Jr. and Anthony Gonzalez.
Oh, in the first round, okay,
Yeah.
But okay, because I'm looking at it stats wise, because Dwayne Bowe has the 3rd most receiving yards this draft, behind Greg Olsen.
Dwayne Bowe had a better career than people remember.
Yes. Didn't he end up playing for Tennessee for a little bit?
I honestly don't remember that.
I will look this up really quick because Nick.
If he did, he was washed.
No. Okay, he was Kansas City. It was 1 year in Cleveland. Okay, he was in Kansas City.
Why is it always the Titans getting washed receivers? I mean,
I'll never forget watching Randy Moss's first game as a Titan.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so San Francisco, you know what? It wasn't a strong area of need, but he ended up being one of the best players out of the first round, out of this draft. And it's somebody that I think in that offense would have done great. And I'm burning myself because I would have hoped he would have been available later on to the team he originally got drafted to. He's a hell of an analyst now for Fox. If you're 49ers, you go Greg Olsen.
Part of the seventh floor crew?
3-leg Greg?
Yeah.
3rd leg Greg?
I mean, had a hell of a career with the Bears and Panthers. Great college tight end. And with the offense that they ran in San Francisco at the time, I mean, they're going to find a way to use them. So, yeah. You got Greg Olsen going number 11 to the 49ers.
All right. So, for me, I have Buffalo now. Buffalo, going into this, was 7-9, and they are in the middle of a 4-year stretch of going only 7-9. That's the fun part. They originally drafted Marshawn Lynch. That's exactly what they need here is a running back. So I might go somebody that was undrafted. I just got to double check his stats. I want to see how he did really quick. But I'm thinking I'm drafting an undrafted running back here.
Okay.
I just have to find him really quick. I don't know if I should. You know what? Hindsight, he was really, really good. He was just stuck as a backup. Amon Bradshaw, come on down.
Okay.
Amon Bradshaw was a 7th round pick. He was a 7th rounder. He had 4,900 rushing yards, 36 touchdowns. Majority of his career, he was stuck behind Brandon Jacobs. And he was also hurt a lot. So maybe in this different parallel universe, he does better in Buffalo.
Okay. All right. So Ahmad Bradshaw, originally New York Giant, right? That's who you went to undrafted?
Yes. Giants drafted him in the 7th round
Okay.
because Tiki Barber retired, surprisingly, that offseason.
Well, he's got kids to raise, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, he has a New York radio show every day now, so I guess those kids must have grown up. But pick 13 goes to Drake, and the then St. Louis Cardinals are on the clock.
St. Louis Rams.
St. Louis Rams.
I'm sorry. Rams. St. Louis Rams.
What the hell is that?
Regardless, the Rams are on the clock. They draft a bust here, Adam Carricker. defensive end. Plays until 2012. So, Drake, I'm interested to see what you do here.
Well, I'll for them, I'll keep it on the defensive side of the ball. I think this guy I'm about to take was probably one of the more underrated. I don't know what word to use, but one of the most underrated tacklers, I guess you could say. But for this pick, I'm taking up Paul Posluszny.
Paul Polonsky was very, very nice. He ends up falling to the third round, gets drafted by Buffalo, gets like 2 tackles in his rookie year, and just takes off after that. Polonsky was very good. They ended up drafting John Laurinaitis a few years later. So pairing Polonsky and Laurinaitis would have been very nice. All right. So pick 14, Griffin.
I have the New York Jets.
New York Jets. All right. Sorry, there's no Darrelle Revis to take here. So...
I don't know if I wrote this down wrong, but it says that their previous record, they went 10-6. I don't know how true that. I might have got that wrong.
2007, they went 4-12 with Eric Mangini.
Okay, I don't know why. I must have just wrote down the notes wrong. But biggest needs is wide receiver, offensive line, and secondary. I'm not loving the receivers.
There's a few decent ones, a few decent receivers. Secondary, there's a few good secondary players that stick around for a while. So it just really depends on what fit you're trying to look for. Receivers, they have a few Super Bowl receivers out here, mainly, as I mentioned earlier, was it James Jones? James Jones is on there. There's also Jacoby Jones, both Super Bowl winning wide receivers. Sidney Rice was serviceable. Ted Ginn Jr., if you need that Ted Ginn Jr. would be a Jets pick in this draft. But
I think I am going to go with. I think I'm going to go with Sidney Rice.
Sidney Rice. Okay.
Sidney Rice, South Carolina.
All right. Second round pick, Sidney Rice.
He really took off to his second year in the league with the Giants.
Sidney Rice was on Minnesota.
Okay.
He was on Minnesota, and then he goes to Seattle.
Okay, I don't know why.
Are you thinking of Steve Smith? That's on the board.
Yeah, that's probably who I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of research that had to be done for this draft, and it's all just blending together in my head.
Yeah, there was a solid 3 weeks of research, but yeah, all right, Sidney Rice off the board. So Nick, you're on the clock.
I got Pittsburgh at pick number 15. Originally, they took Lawrence Timmons. Obviously, he's off the board, going at number 8 to Atlanta. So, biggest needs for the Steelers, both linebacker positions inside and outside, and then also tight end. So, honestly, linebacker-wise, I'm not super excited. There's a couple of guys that are fringe. To me, redraft first rounders, but I mean, honestly, there's a tight end in the second round, had a fantastic career, very short career though, suffered one of the most gruesome knee injuries I've ever seen. Actually almost lost his leg and died.
I had him in fantasy that week when he caught that touchdown.
It was a gruesome injury. Literally he was minutes away from losing his leg. They thought they were going to have to amputate it possibly on the field. That's just crazy.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, it was Bears and Saints.
Yep. But Zach Miller, tight end, Arizona State, originally drafted by the Bears in the second round, or by the Raiders in the second round, gets cut by the Raiders, goes to the Bears, ends up having a pretty good career, but cut way short. Did sneak in one Pro Bowl, started 110 games, but he's definitely a Pittsburgh Steelers kind of player. And again, with the linebackers being off the board at this point, I think they go Zach Miller.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's something they would do. When did they get Heath Miller? Was he already on the squad in Pittsburgh?
I don't know, but tight end was a position of need, so he was trending down.
Heath Miller was there for a while, but regardless, Heath Miller was there. He year 2 for Heath Miller, 47 catches, 556 yards, 7 touchdowns. So it's not bad to have 2 good tight ends there, especially with Ben Roethlisberger, the check down Charlie.
Who did Pittsburgh use this pick on originally?
Lawrence Timmons.
Okay.
And you know what's better than 2 great tight ends? 3 great tight ends. Yep. That's the Ben Johnson philosophy.
Yeah. So I'm on the clock now. Pick 16.
Boo! Not for you, just because it's habit. It's
all right. So Green Bay is on the clock with Nick's grandfather. Nick's grandfather, Brett Favre, is still on the team. Being his dad is Aaron Rodgers. Nick, did you wish Aaron Rodgers Happy Father's Day?
I was just wondering, so Favre hasn't defrauded welfare or sent a dick pic to any office staff yet or anything?
Not yet. Once he gets to New York is when he starts macking on the trainers. Okay. But this is Favre's last year in Green Bay. A notable off-season thing was that they almost traded for Randy Moss. They didn't like the amount of money Randy Moss was wanting for his deal to get reworked. So a key member of that trade would have been Aaron Rodgers going to Oakland before the draft.
Which is also where he's from, coincidentally.
Yes.
From Southern California.
So, yeah, so looking at the Packers here, they draft a absolute bust. Justin Harrell, defensive tackle. He plays until 2010.
14 starts for a first-round pick.
Hang it up. Just don't even, you know what? We don't even want to see you, guy. But I'm thinking in my mind, they're trying to have one last push with Favre, right? Yeah. But you can't go wrong with some defense. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Reggie Nelson.
Okay.
Defensive back. Reggie Nelson plays until 2018. So you get him for a solid amount of time. He ends up getting 38 interceptions. That's the most in this draft. With 618 tackles. So, I mean, that's just solid work.
He won the championship a few months before this.
Well, I don't know if he's winning anything in Green Bay. So, I hope you like the cold.
Now, just
Florida to Green Bay.
Now, just so ESPN can keep their graphics updated, with the 13th pick, you took Ahmad Bradshaw, right?
12th pick. I took Ahmad Bradshaw.
Or 12th pick, I'm sorry, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then who went 13 to the St. Louis Rams, not Cardinals?
Who did I take?
Polonzi.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, Polonzi.
Polonsky.
Yeah,
Paul Polonsky.
Polonsky, yeah. Okay, all right. Just making sure.
Polonsky belongs in the Hall of Very Good, by the way.
Hey.
Might be better than a middle linebacker in Chicago at that time. Going on to pick 17. Denver is on the clock, and they draft another bust. So 16 and 17, back-to-back busts here. Jarvis Moss plays until 2011.
Can't trust those Florida guys. Same.
Yeah, I'll just going to keep this one real simple. I'll also go with another edge. I'll go with Lamar Woodley.
Woodley, that's a great pick.
He was originally
68 career sacks, nearly 300 pressures, so quarterback pressures. So
Pittsburgh drafted Timmons and Woodley.
Yes,
Yeah.
Woodley was a second-round pick. And then for Nick to draft a tight end, Pittsburgh drafts a tight end in the third round that draft in real life.
Yeah, Matt Spaeth from Minnesota.
Yes.
I mean, I'll take Zach Miller.
Is okay? So, who did you draft Greg Olson to earlier, Nick? Was that Minnesota at 7?
Absolutely not. That was to the 49ers at 11.
Okay. So is Greg Olson continuing his rap career? I just wanna ask you that. Are you picking up a label as a GM? Be like, hey man, like this is the guy, future rap star, tight end for Buffalo.
I mean, he's in San Francisco. It's close enough to LA and Hollywood and everything else. He doesn't get a chance if he goes to the 49ers. He doesn't get a chance to go to Chicago and mature in, a more professional city.
Okay.
So he goes to the West Coast where who knows what happens. So yeah, I think his rap career continues.
Okay. Do you draft any of the other 7 Thor crew?
Possibly, because there's quite a few of them in this draft.
There are. So moving on, where are we at in this draft? We are at Cincinnati. Are we not?
Yeah, number 18, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Originally took Leon Hall, defensive back from Michigan. Defensive back is an area of need, but so is offensive line, running back, defensive line. Pretty much the same thing as it is now for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Things don't change.
No, they do not. So I am going to go really with I want to go. I'm going to say interior offensive line. A guy that was originally drafted by the Carolina Panthers, but he anchors the center of the O-line for Cincinnati for years to come. It's going to be Ryan Khalil.
Yes.
Center. Originally a second-round pick out of USC.
So later in his career, Khalil is one of the players to get his entire NFL contract converted to cryptocurrency. Are you, as the GM, going to help him out with that? Or are you just going to be like, take your money in cold hard cash?
Whatever helps us balance the cap is what I'm going to do. So.
Okay, so I'm hearing some aspirations, Los Angeles Clippers stuff here. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I won't do is offer him a 30-year contract of $1 million a year for 30 years, just paid on the same date.
Well, it's a thing in baseball. It's the furrow contracts. Let's also look at
coming up. That's coming up. That's next week. July 1st.
Yeah, I'm not working that day.
One of my favorite posts ever, the repost on Facebook, is Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah, that's a holiday for me. I'm sorry. If I'm unreachable that day. If I reach out to you, it's because there's reasons.
But we are on to the Tennessee Titans.
Yes, Tennessee Titans here. Griffin, you're on the clock.
This is 2
coincidentally
ago.
Oh my God! Yeah, coincidentally, the Titans draft a player that shares your name.
I was honestly hoping that this would happen a little bit, but I don't think that they're going to change their pick.
Yeah.
No.
2 Pro Bowls, 154 starts.
I think they're going to go safety, Michael Griffin. And
honestly, yeah. If you look at 605 solo tackles, 25 interceptions, 7 sacks, like you said, 2 Pro Bowls, 154 career starts. I mean, he's one of these guys that, again, people don't remember his name, but
yeah,
if you just showed the stats, you'd be like, damn, that guy was good. And then you show his name, you're like, who the hell was that?
Exactly.
Titans fans remember him. I mean, obviously.
Yeah. No, I remember the jersey. I remember using him in Madden. I was like, this is my guy.
So I'm on the clock now. I'm drafting for the soon-to-be Super Bowl champions, New York Giants. They win the Super Bowl this year. They do the impossible. They defeat the undefeated Patriots. They originally drafted Aaron Ross, which Aaron Ross plays until 2013. I'm looking for more of something in the future here because if I remember, 2009, a certain wide receiver goes into a club has a loaded gun, doesn't have the safety on, shoots himself in the quad, and he ends up doing jail time for it because it's not a licensed firearm.
I mean, just think about that for a second. How awesome do you have to be to shoot yourself with your own gun and then get sent to jail for it? I mean, come on. That's like a trifecta. That's like, I mean,
yeah.
All the stars aligned.
Even Pac-Man wouldn't do that.
Oh, God. Pac-Man Jones was just, he was a different beast.
So what are you doing? Where are the Giants, where are the G-men going?
We're going Dwayne Bowe.
Dwayne Bowe.
I literally had 3 players wrote down for this spot, and the 2 other ones were selected. And Dwayne Bowe was my number 1 for this pick. The other 2 was Sidney Rice and Third Leg Greg.
Okay.
So, Dwayne Bowe.
Wide receiver out of LSU. Solid career.
44 touchdowns.
Which is, I mean, not as many as I thought. More than I thought he had.
Yeah, I mean, he's in Kansas City for forever. Like, I think he has Tyler Thigpen throwing on the ball a few times.
Yes, who's in this draft, actually.
Yeah.
He's available, guys, if you want to go, Tyler Thigpen.
Does Dwayne Bowe stick around for the Alex Smith days? That'd be crazy. Does he? I think so. I don't know. But moving on. Pick number 21. Jacksonville Jaguars. Their pick, Reggie Nelson, is not on the board.
You're going to say Duval.
Drake, you gotta say it.
I'm not.
Give us your best Liam Cohen impression.
Duval.
There we go. All right, click that.
Liam Cohen, who's the coach of the Jaguars now, is probably like 13 at the time.
Oh my God, yeah. Still in high school.
Yeah.
Well, they originally went defense here, but the Jaguars are kind of weird because I feel like they've always had a solid defense, but the offense has been what's held them back. So I'll just have them take an offensive lineman. I'll have them take Ben Grubbs from Auburn, interior offensive lineman, 2-time Pro Bowler.
Can't go wrong with that. And officially now, everybody on the board that I had in mind for the New England Patriots is taken off the board. So we're off to a riveting start, guys. But I kid. It's all good. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that, especially blocking for David Garrard. Eventually, Maurice Jones-Drew. I don't know what timeline Maurice Jones-Drew hops into Jacksonville. Yeah, I think he's still a big John Henderson, the guy that I couldn't imagine being paid to smack him. I would be very scared to smack him. He'd be like, do harder.
John Henderson played at Tennessee, obviously. Went to high school here at Pearl Cone in Middle Tennessee. He was not much bigger in the pros than he was as a high school player in Pearl Cone. Could you imagine being 16, 17 years old and you walk out on the field and John Henderson is standing there? Like, what do you do? I mean, even an average offensive line in high school, a local high school, it's a small town high school.
Yes.
Offensive linemen are usually the biggest guys on the team. They're probably 6 foot, maybe 6'1" in some schools. They're not 6'8" or whatever the hell he was. 300 pounds of solid muscle and crazy as hell. I mean, yeah, how he didn't. And I don't know how Pro Cone ever lost a game in high school with him.
Imagine that pass rush.
There was another guy. I'm trying to think of who it was. There was another guy that ended up in the NFL. They were both on the same team. And I was like, 2 legitimate NFL guys on a high school team in Tennessee. How did they ever lose a game? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
That's just crazy. All right, so moving on. Griffin is on the clock now.
The Cleveland Browns, they traded back into the first round.
Yes.
With this pick. They originally drafted Brady Quinn. And I will say that this is not a very good team to begin with.
In general.
So.
Although they got a little bit better with Darrelle Revis earlier in the draft. So.
Okay, so maybe we won't go defense here for them. And they didn't get Joe Thomas originally. like they do.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with. I think we're gonna go tight end Brent Selleck.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Brent Selleck. All right. That's a good pick.
He was originally second round.
To the Eagles. And then I think he does a stint in San Francisco? Or was that his brother?
Wait, was he a second rounder? What were you? I was trying to find him on the
Selleck was a 5th round pick.
5th round pick. Damn.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Go him. Big Sow. Go for him. All right. He's off the board. Nick, you're on the clock.
All right. I have, with the 23rd pick, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Is Austin advising for you?
They originally went Dwayne Bowe, wide receiver LSU, in this spot. Obviously, he's not available anymore. Area of need is definitely wide receiver, is also definitely quarterback, which is why they drafted Tyler Thigpen later in this draft. And they also need defensive line. So, honestly, you're not going to find much help in the quarterback room. I know in the pre-show we were talking about Heisman winner Troy Smith. He's still available. There's some good names out there.
Matt Moore.
But honestly, I think there's some other guys that are, I think, standout first-round names, but they don't fit areas of need for the Chiefs at this point. So if you're going to go area of need, a guy that ended up still having a solid NFL career, and I think having him drafted on the back end of the first round makes more sense than where he was originally drafted. It does fill the wide receiver spot for the Chiefs, but coming out of Ohio State, Ted Ginn Jr., solid NFL career, 193 starts, 33 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, 5,700 yards. Not to mention he had some rushing stats too. But I mean, solid wide receiver, solid career in the NFL.
Yeah, can't go wrong there.
Yeah, and it still fills that area of need that the Chiefs need or had. So,
yeah. All right. So I'm on the clock now with the New England Patriots, who end up going perfect into the Super Bowl. The worst time to lose. I was looking at the 2006 stats, and I said, Jesus Christ, they have nobody to throw to. They didn't have a 1,000-yard receiver. And then they ended up trading for Wes Welker. They signed Dante Stallworth. And then on, day 3 of the draft, they trade for Randy Moss.
He had a pretty good season with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Solid.
So they originally draft Brendan Mayweather, and he's just a middle of the line DB. So I think, yeah, whatever. I think I'm gonna draft somebody else that ends up winning a Super Bowl with a different team. I'm drafting tackle Jermon Bushrod.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes, and he does some time in Chicago.
He did. Does some time. I like how you put it.
People sounded like he was in prison.
Yeah, as I say, yeah.
Well, he went from New Orleans, the party capital of the world, to going to Chicago. So, poor guy, We pray for him in times like this. And then he does 3 years there, goes to Miami, and then yeah, there we go. NOR.
So,
yeah, okay.
Where was he originally drafted? I know, not the team, but
4th round.
4th round. Okay.
Yes. He ends up playing until 2018. So, he starts 128 games, plays 145 altogether. So, 2 Pro Bowls at this late in the draft, I'll take that. Whenever he did start, he didn't miss anything at all, except for his second year in Chicago. So,
yeah, I remember when the Bears got him. It was a good pickup. That's
okay. Yeah. Here we are on the clock now. Drake, what team do you have now?
The Panthers.
Panthers. Okay. I'm trying to think who's on. Do they still have Jake Delhomme?
I am going to stick with the original pick here. I am going with John Beeson. I thought this guy was an absolute beast. Sadly, he only had his first 3 years really good, but after that, he just kind of fell off. But I remember using this guy in like Madden 11 or Madden 12, and he was like a high overall. So,
Goated
take John
Maddens.
Beeson.
Goated Maddens. I'll put BTA on Griffin when we played Madden 11 last.
Like the game in 10 years.
Hey, man, if anyone wants to play me at a retro sports game, it's on. Like Donkey Kong, all right? Nick, you're still waiting for an ass whooping in an old Madden, all right? All right, so Griffin is on the clock now with Dallas. They originally drafted Anthony Spencer here. Who do they draft?
Well, the team needs are linebacker and offensive line. And
If you scour the offensive line, there's some decent offensive linemen out there.
I mean, the only other offensive lineman I have on the board, I'll just probably go ahead and take him. Doug Free.
Doug Free. He was very solid. He plays both tackles and left guard. I think he ended up doing a stint with the Giants, and it wasn't nice at all. But he was good for Dallas. He was really good for Dallas. Ended up being he was a 4th-round pick. I'm sorry, he only played for Dallas. I don't know why I was thinking of Mark Colombo, I think. Anyways, yeah, he was solid for Dallas. Played 9 years. So, good pick. Good quality guy there. Nick, you're on the board now.
Yeah, pick number 27, the New Orleans Saints. And I'm sorry, I was doing a last-minute telephone call with his agent. Who did Dallas go with?
Doug Free.
Doug Free. Didn't really want Doug anyway, so that's good. He wasn't on our radar.
Okay. Are you sticking with the Dave Chappelle lookalike and Robert Meacham?
Another guy that actually, I mean, if you look at his stats, had a pretty decent career in the NFL.
I mean, but for a first-round pick, I mean, 7 years, under 3,000 receiving yards.
I mean, it's a decent. I didn't say he was fantastic. Damn, calm down. But another areas of need for the defensive back help, specifically corner, linebacker, offensive line, defensive line, specifically defensive tackle. And it's the defensive tackle I'm going to focus on. Guy that goes a little bit later in the draft. 146 career starts. Originally goes to Arizona with pick 33. In this first pick in the second round. He's going to end up going here to the Saints. And that's Alan Branch, defensive tackle, Michigan. Doesn't have a Hall of Fame career, not going to stretch that, but a guy that had a pretty solid NFL career and I think could have done some good work in New Orleans.
Especially, imagine him with Bountygate? Or, was that Bountygate?
What year did they go to the Super Bowl?
Oh, that was 09.
Yeah,
09.
Fixes the Bears Colts coming off that Super Bowl, so
yeah,
that'll be a little bit later. So he's not quite Bountygate yet, but he's close. He's right out there.
What was the scandal with Sean Payton and Greg Williams?
Bountygate.
Okay, Bountygate. Okay, yeah. So Alan Branch with Bountygate, that would have been something, huh?
He could have done some damage.
He could have. That's a big, hefty man. So now I'm on the clock with San Francisco. As Nick mentioned earlier, this is their second first-round pick. They need a linebacker. There's no Patrick Willis on the board. They drafted third-led Greg, so they get some quality offensive play. I'm going to go here with a second-round pick. David Harris plays until 2017. He goes to the Jets originally. And he ends up becoming a New England Patriot in his last year of his career. But pretty solid, decent career. 164 games, 153 starts, 6 interceptions. Nothing too flashy. But he has over 1,100 combined tackles with 725 solo tackles. And that's what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for someone to kind of fill in for Patrick Willis.
Okay, yeah, solid pick. Very solid pick.
And here we are with the last stretch, the last round of picks.
Yeah, 4 picks left. So that means
And,
Drake is on the board with Baltimore at number 21,
yes.
29.
Baltimore.
For Baltimore, I'll give them an offensive weapon at receiver room to go along with Derek Mason, and that is James Jones.
James Jones was good. James Jones was really good.
Very reliable. Led the league in receiving touchdowns in 2012, and he had a career high in receiving yards in 2015. And also would wear a hoodie under his uniform.
Yes. I remember that. That's what really stuck out with him. Is that he wore the hoodie under his uniform. Which is cool.
How is he not
Like,
uncomfortable? You can play like that.
I mean, he wore it during the winter. So.
I just
So
don't know
here
how
we
you move.
are.
I mean, I get you be warm, but I just don't know how you move. Like,
At that time, it was like you didn't have to wear all the pads. So like he wore like a smaller set of pads, and DBs and wide receivers wouldn't wear like thigh pads and knee pads, so they could just fly down the field. And then they ended up making it like a you have to wear your pads. But Griffin, you were on the clock with San Diego.
Yes, they two main needs for this team was wide receiver and linebacker.
They drafted a wide receiver this draft, Craig Davis. He's out of the league in 2010.
So, I think, I mean, there's no, I mean, I kind of have two guys. They're kind of tied, a linebacker and a receiver.
Okay.
Since they drafted a receiver in the first place, I'm going to go follow suit and draft Jacoby Jones.
Jacoby Jones was good. I liked him.
Yeah. It's a solid pick. Out of Lane College.
I will say, also, I know that we're not going to draft them in the first round, but there's two kickers.
One of them were active.
One is still active.
Is that
Nick Folk? Yes. And the other one, and the other one, Nick knows his name pretty well. Mason Crosby.
Yeah. Mason Crosby. Old man Crosby.
crossbar.
So, if one of y'all are thinking about pulling a Raiders here with a Janikowski pick,
that is a
Thinking
tough
good.
sell to your fan base to go first round.
kicker.
Imagine just the waiting. Like, man, I can't wait to see what we do in the first round, and you draft a fucking kicker in the first round. Oh my god. I would call the police immediately, give them the address of the headquarters of the team, and say, you know what? There is terrorism going on right now.
I remember that guy pulling a hammy, kicking a 50-something plus yard field goal, having to come out of the game.
All right, so I am on the clock with the defending NFC champion Chicago Bears at this point, coming off a. Let's just be honest. The refs gave the game to the Colts. They wanted Peyton Manning to be champion. We get it.
Rex Grossman at quarterback didn't have anything to do with it.
I mean, let's be honest. The fact that Lovie Smith got this team to a Super Bowl with Rex Grossman as his quarterback.
Who was RB1?
That was Thomas Jones. And if you look at stat-wise, they trade him off in the offseason because they drafted Cedric Benson the year before. That was a huge mistake.
It was.
Huge mistake. Thomas Jones was legit.
He stayed good until the end of his career. When he went, I don't know where he went. Was it the Jets? We traded him to?
They traded him to the Jets. And as much crap as Grossman got and still gets to this day, go back and watch the highlights of that season and look at his stat line for that season. He had legitimately a hell of a season as a quarterback. Now, he did kind of fall apart in the Super Bowl. Worst time to fall apart. So that did happen. But that being said, the Bears, when you're picking 31st, obviously, you're going for areas of need somewhat, or you just kind of pick and choose. When you're this good, I mean, really, you're just kind of, we can go depth. There's so many options.
You could go middle linebacker to replace the bum you got.
Oh, get out of here. Yeah, we got, so tight end would have been nice. Originally, they drafted Greg Olsen. That would have been probably, if you're looking at starters across the board, that is the one area that you would have liked to find a starter in the draft, and they did at the time in Olsen. We've depleted the tight ends in this draft. Matt Spaeth is the best one left, and I'm not touching Matt Spaeth in the first round.
No.
Maybe we get him later. But, defensive line, they could go just for rotational purposes. Offensive line, defensive back, same thing. Actually, one of the defensive backs they took in this draft, Corey Graham, is a guy that I looked at just because, again, he had a solid career, especially special teamer, solid career for the Chicago. But because of the Thomas Jones thing, and because as a GM, I can kind of see the future, and I'm not sure about Cedric Benson and what he's going to do in the NFL. They need running back depth big time. Originally, they're high, after Olsen, their next couple picks were centered around Garrett Wolf from Northern Illinois, running back, and then literally the next pick. They had 2 picks in a row in the 3rd round. They went Garrett Wolf, running back, who ended up playing 50 games, 282 yards. That was that. And then the next pick they got, 1 pick later, was Michael Okwa, linebacker from Stanford, who never played a down, not even on special teams in the NFL. So
what are you guys doing?
So that's why I'm here now. Obviously, previous GM just wasn't doing it.
Wasn't cutting the mustard, huh?
I did go running back. This guy actually ended up with the Bears, but was drafted in this draft by the Oakland Raiders in the 4th round. Ended up with a pretty solid career, 3,200 yards rushing, 29 touchdowns, 1,000 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. Out of Louisville, Michael Bush.
Michael Bush was solid. Okay. All right. I wasn't too sure if he was going to go in the 1st round, but some teams are desperate, like to make a reach at the end of the 1st round.
Well, again, when you're coming off the Super Bowl, you have the luxury of just kind of going for, taking a few chances. You're rolling the dice a little bit.
Okay, so I have the Super Bowl champions in the Indianapolis Colts.
So this is our version of Mr. Irrelevant. So.
Yes, our version of Mr. Irrelevant. I'm going to go a player here that was drafted in the 5th round. He retires a little early in 2012, but until then, he had 3,300 receiving yards, 9 touchdowns, whatever.
Wait, you're not going to replace the rag arm quarterback they got in Indianapolis?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go fucking Jamarcus Russell here.
Chris Lake. He went to a way better university.
He is a defending super national champion. That's something Manning never did.
I'm going to go, I think is the next best wideout on this list. And that's a sad, sad list. Steve Breston.
You didn't go Meacham? Robert Meacham?
No. Steve Breston.
Steve Breston out of Michigan. Okay.
Yes.
Did he go to
Steve Smith?
No.
Steve Smith out of USC? Yeah.
Steve Breston had 3,300 receiving yards. Meacham didn't get 3,000, and Steve Smith didn't get 3,000.
Oh.
So I'm looking at quality here, and with Marvin Harrison, that Mr. Slant, at 34 years old, and Reggie Wayne at 28, you kind of need some youth into this. Originally, they drafted Anthony Gonzalez. That guy was decent, but couldn't stay healthy to save his life, unfortunately. I think he was one of the. I mean, there's a awful play where he gets headhunted, and he has to literally get ambulanced off the field. So I'm here going Steve Breston. So maybe Peyton Manning changes his career.
Well, Peyton Manning was the best at hospital balls, so Austin Collie.
Oh my God, yeah. Hey, Tebow was on that list too with hospital balls, wasn't he?
Well, no, it's not really hospital balls if you throw it into the ground. Now, I mean, let's be honest. One of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time. When he got to the pros,
that had been in NFL too.
The pros, I don't know. Somehow he forgot how to throw a football.
Yeah,
he won a playoff game.
He did.
He ended up playing for the Mets. So Drake also was on record for saying he would wear a New York Mets Tim Tebow jersey. So that might happen one day for him.
So a couple notable
Probably
names
not
that weren't
anymore.
drafted. LaRon Landry, solid NFL player, pretty decent NFL career. One-time Pro Bowler. Somebody that we could have looked at. Brandon Merriweather, also out of Miami. Somebody that had a solid NFL career. Again, not a Hall of Famer by any stretch, but decent career. Aaron Ross, defensive back from Texas. We had talked about Robert Meacham, who had a okay career. And when we're splitting hairs when we get to the bottom of the first round with how we could have went, but it was more about positions of need than it was anything else. But yeah, I mean, you talk about all these guys we drafted, and there was no quarterbacks in the first round.
No quarterbacks.
I would argue that Kevin Cobb was the best quarterback out of this draft.
If you look at the stats, unfortunately, it says out of drafted quarterbacks, out of the quarterbacks that were drafted, the best quarterback was Trent Edwards, with 6,000 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 30 picks. And then Kevin Cobb with 5,200 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, 25 picks. I got to look at Matt Moore's stats really quick because I am questionable on that. But
Did any one of us take Leon Hall?
Leon Hall? No, we did not take Leon Hall. He's another guy. Another guy that had a solid career.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Matt Moore, Jesus, he ends up having the best stats out of this QB class with 7,500 passing yards, 49 touchdowns, 36 picks in the backup role. His career with 32 starts is 16-16.
Okay.
So,
Let's just real quick. Who was y'all's top 3 guys still on the board?
top
Still
3 still on the board.
I would definitely go LaRon Landry for me, Brandon Merriweather for me, and I don't know, maybe Steve Smith, wide receiver from USC, I think would be the third.
For me, I have Charles Johnson. He's a 3rd-round pick. He ends up leading this draft class in sacks with 67.5. And then I'm also looking at Brian Robinson, who also has 60 sacks. He was a 4th-round pick. And then there was a center I almost took early, or a lineman I almost took earlier. I gotta find him really quick. I almost took Manuel Ramirez, who went to the Lions.
Okay.
I think Leon Hall, for me, is the most puzzling one. I'm kind of shocked that none of us took him.
Yeah, my top guys are Deshaun Goldson, Anthony Spencer, and probably Charles Johnson.
Okay. So, with all that said and done, this draft class wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst, but definitely was a struggle.
Well, I think that's what makes doing this kind of project, using this as the first one, makes it kind of neat, because it wasn't like, oh, here's 32 amazing NFL players, and we just take your pick. And it wasn't like some of the drafts where it's the absolute bottom feeders and you're struggling. But I mean, the fact that no quarterback in the first round, and it's not even close, no quarterback in the first round.
Oh yeah, it's not like, this guy could have won the first round. It's
right.
like, no, none of these guys threw for 10,000 yards.
Which I know people who may not follow football think, wow, 10,000 yards, that's a lot. No, it's not. Not for starting quarterbacks in the NFL who had a decent career.
Yeah. 3 okay seasons.
And even if you make it as a career backup, I mean, you're going to have way more than that. I mean, none of these guys were even achieve that status. Not that you would take your career backup in the first round, but none of those guys even get close to that level.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's definitely something fun. Like, fun in instance of, there's no quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So, like, when there's no quarterbacks, everyone's like, okay, I'll just go wide receiver. There's really not many of those. So you look at running back, not many of those either.
But I mean, just think about, though, in this draft, you did have Calvin Johnson, Joe Thomas, Joe Staley, Darrelle Revis, Marshawn Lynch, Patrick Willis, Greg Olson, Marshall Yanda. I mean, those are, some all-time NFL players. Like, that's...
Yeah. And then you have, like, Colt favorites and Lawrence Timmons. Eric Weddle, he's a Hall of Very Good. I mean...
Then you have like the John Beesons and Dwayne Bowes, and then you have the Kevin Cobbs and Jamarcus Russell stuff.
Rufus, what was Brady Quinn's final
record
stats?
Brady Quinn.
He was Tebow's backup. Not in Florida, on the Broncos.
I remember.
296 completions, 550 attempts, 3,043 yards, 12 touchdowns, 17 interceptions.
Okay.
He did have 44 rushes for 185 yards and a touchdown, and 1 catch for 18 yards.
I wonder how bad of a quarterback he have to be drafted and not start. I'm curious. You know what? I'm going to look. 2007. He only threw 3 passes in 2007. He was behind Derek Anderson.
Oh my gosh.
And QB number 2 was Charlie Fry. So could you imagine trading back up into the first round and drafting QB 3?
Well, I mean, Derek Anderson is the white version of Geno Smith, essentially, just so you know. He's that guy that you want to be the bridge quarterback. The problem was there was nothing to bridge to.
No.
What happened with Derek Anderson was Derek Anderson the year before that, I believe it was, he was, everybody else was hurt. They just had to play him. He actually played really well. So like, well, crap, maybe we caught lightning in a bottle. We're going to sign this guy. And they signed him, and he never does anything ever again.
Yeah, Derek Anderson had 3,700 passing yards that year with 29 touchdowns and 19 picks.
Yep.
So who started the next year?
Let's look. So 2008. No, Garcia was still in Tampa. They had 4 different starting quarterbacks this year.
Of course.
So Cleveland was back in Cleveland things. They go from 10-6 to 4-12. Let's see here. Derek Anderson started 9 games. He went 3-6 with 9 touchdowns, 8 picks. Brady Quinn started 3 games. He went 1-2 with 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. And then you had QB3 of Ken Dorsey, went 0-3. Ken Dorsey went 0-3 in 3 starts with no touchdowns and 7 interceptions. With 300
headset down and walk off the field.
And then QB4 was Bruce Gradkowski, who went 0-1.
Bruce Gradkowski.
This is his solo game stats here: 7-21, 26 passing yards, 3 interceptions.
Holy cow!
That's like Nathan Peterman.
Yeah. And their offensive line was good. That year, only 24 sacks let up.
Yeah, they just drafted Joe Thomas.
Running back Jamal Lewis struggled to get 1,000 rushing yards. He had 1,002 rushing yards.
Well, yeah, because they had no passing attack. They just stacked the defensive line.
And then Braylon Edwards had 873 receiving yards. Your next closest wide receiver was Kellen Winslow with 428. Your next wide receiver was Steve Hayden, your other tight end. So 2 tight ends make up your top 3, and your top 3 don't even have 500 receiving yards that year.
What were you saying, Drake?
Wait. Poor Joe Thomas, though, because in real life he goes to the Browns, and the redraft he goes to the Lions. So either way, he gets it off pretty bad.
And actually, he's going to the Lions without getting Megatron.
Yeah, so they're going to go 0-16 anyway. So.
Do you think Dan Orlowski runs out of the end zone at Thanksgiving against the Vikings.
That's also true. If they took Joe
Well-
Thomas, Dan Orlovsky might not run out the back of the end zone.
You know, you have Dan
On the
without
16 lines.
you have Joe Thomas blocking the freaking nature Jared Allen. Like,
What an alternate reality we just created.
Was that Jared Allen Viking still? Or is that.
yes, Jared Allen Vikings still. Because he's the one that rushed
Yeah.
Dan Orlovsky out of the end zone.
Most people don't realize, know where he was drafted to, don't you?
Kansas City?
Kansas City. Kansas
I didn't
City,
know that.
Minnesota, Chicago, Carolina.
He tried to hang on there.
When he goes into the Hall of Fame, obviously he's going in as a Chicago Bear. I mean, obviously that's what he's going to do.
Oh, Jesus H.
Just like Julius Peppers, Bears legend Julius Peppers.
Come on. That's like saying Dwight. That's
Julius
like
Peppers.
that's like saying when for Randy Moss went in the Hall of Fame. You know what, guys? I want to go in as a Titan.
I mean, Peppers had good stints in
Honor.
Carolina and Green Bay, but he's mostly known for his work in Chicago. That's what.
Or whenever T.O. went, he goes, you know what, guys?
Well, T.O. is different. He played for like 7 teams. That's
T.O.
like-
should have. If T.O. should have went in as a Niner or an Eagle, correct?
as an Eagle. He should have gone in as an Eagle.
Or
He
Niner.
had decent
Or
Niner.
career in
Niner.
San Francisco, but he's
As a
known.
Cincinnati
for being-
Bengal.
Yeah, exactly, Jake. Cincinnati Bengal.
Not a Buffalo Bill. I mean, he was a Buffalo
Oh my
Bill.
God! I thought about him on the Bills. I was like, wait a second. Did he play for the Bills, or is that just like a Madden thing where I played and he went to the Bills?
Like Seahawks legend Jerry Rice. Come on, man. That's
Oh, Jesus Christ! He only played in the preseason, did he not?
he still wore the
Patriots
jersey.
legend Chad Ochocinco.
Yeah.
I was gonna go Dolphins legend Chad Ochocinco.
Or,
I
No,
don't
that's
even know he-
Dolphins legend
or,
Jake
Patriots, or Patriots legend Cam Newton.
Cam Newton. You could have went Patriots legend Tim Tebow, who didn't make it out of the preseason.
Okay, Bill Belichick done him dirty.
Try to reunite him with his killer
Or-
tight end.
Done him dirty.
Or-
Oh yeah.
Or Jets legend Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers.
Brett Favre was up to some nefarious things in New York.
Oh, and the final whistle means it's time to say goodbye. But that also means we have a chance for the sign off. And I don't know if you guys, I mean, mine works out perfectly. So, I mean, 2006, 2026 doesn't really matter.
Oh Jesus Christ!
But, I'll let you guys go first if you want. Ricky, your sign off.
Yeah,
Way
you're
back 2006, 2007.
your 2007, 2008 season Super Bowl champions, New York Giants. First of two-time Super Bowl MVP Eli Manning.
Hey, it's hard to argue with results. That's why they play the game.
Yeah. Drake, what's your sign off? What you got cooking up for us?
I mean, what do you think it's going to be? I mean,
Just
What is it?
coming off the championship, coming off the championship in football, coming off the championship in basketball, and now you flash forward 20 years later, had a championship in basketball last year, and now we have the best coach in college football, John Summerall. So go Gators!
weren't you also the one trying to lobby for Lane Kiffin for the longest?
Who's that?
Okay. Anyways, Griffin, what is your sign off?
Your next Super Bowl champions, Tennessee Titans.
With Kerry Collins at quarterback.
No, fun fact: Lane Kiffin was the coach for the Raiders at this time.
He was.
Was.
Jesus Christ. To be a fly on the... You know what, Nick, before you spew your bullshit about the Kings of the North, I just want to be a fly on the wall in any of those practices with Lane Kiffin in Oakland. Or to be on the headset with Lane Kiffin where he's like, you know what, guys? 73-yard field goal before the half.
So the Raiders is before Tennessee, correct?
Yes.
Because he goes Raiders, Tennessee, USC,
Yes.
then Alabama, then all the
Florida
FIU
Atlantic,
was in there
coach
somewhere.
for
Then
Wasn't he
exactly.
FIU or FAU? One of the
Yeah.
two?
Florida
Florida.
Atlantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, or FAU. Yeah, it's weird going to an MTSU game We got tickets behind FAU's bench just so we could heckle Lane Kiffin.
But Nick Saban fired him the day before the national championship.
Were you like a classy Tennessee fan and throwing stuff at him?
No, that kind of thing, whatever. He's just a piece. That's just him. He's just a piece of shit. But the fact that, and I love MTSU, you know I love MTSU, but the fact that he has to come to Murfreesboro as a coach of FAU, that's where he had sunk to it at that point in his career. That's, to me, that's poetic justice. So
now he's head coach of LSU.
Yeah, now he's made pretty good money since then. I don't know why. He does not done shit. But
they're just lucky they don't have to play us this year. That's all I got to say. Unless we make it, the SEC championship or playoff. But
well, you guys got to make a bowl game first, Drake. Nick, what is your sign off?
A couple years ago.
So, like I said earlier, whether it's 2006, the season we're coming off of, 2026, it all stays the same. The King in the North. That's it. Upgraded at quarterback significantly in the last 20 years. You know, you go from
let's not overlook like 2010 until like 2015, 2016.
All I can see right now, and as I close my eyes, is just a Jumpman silhouette. You know, cover of Madden kind of deal. You know, that's what
when I think of the Chicago Bears and I close my eyes, I think of the meme of Jay Cutler as the Marble Man.
Just as we say goodbye, Eli Manning in his best year was never on the cover of Madden. So, I mean,
he has 2 rings. 2. How many rings does the Bears have besides Nick, right? Griffin, how many Super Bowls have the Bears won since you've been alive?
None, I don't think.
Thank you. Drake, since you've been alive, how many Super Bowls have the Bears won?
Well, I think the better question is how many have the Mets won?
I was going to say, they've won as many as the Mets have won World Series. So.
But 0.
Yes. But also, see, you forget that the Bears have won 1 in their history, 1985. Everybody knows that. Greatest team of all time. People forget that before it was called the Super Bowl, you know, the team that founded the NFL, that would be the Chicago Bears. You know, you do know that. They won like 17 world championships before it was called the Super Bowl. So, yeah, if you want to get stuck on technicalities, yes.
Put the asterisks on them.
Yeah, but, you know, unfortunately, unlike the Predators, we don't hang banners for good seasons. We only hang them for great seasons. So, yeah.
I'm getting shots at every fucking direction now. Like, are we serious?
If you go scattershot, you hit somebody eventually. That's the way it works.
Okay.
But no, hey, it's a great show. Actually, this is probably the first time in a while. Actually, these last few shows, we've been doing different types of shows. But this is the first one, I think, since we've started the Virtual Press Box that's been this type of format, other than the live following of the real drafts. A lot of fun. I mean, it made me go back and really look at, guys that I was like, damn, you think certain guys had better careers than they did, or certain guys didn't have as good a careers as you thought they did. When you go back and really look at some of the stats and, take out some of the emotion of it. And like you sometimes you hear a name and you're like, well, that guy was terrible. And then you see a stat and you're like, well, damn, he wasn't that bad out, and not as bad as I thought he was.
Yeah. That's the fun in it, for sure. There will definitely be more of these, whether it be MLB or not MLB, God no, NBA, and whether it will be NFL. But everybody, thank you for listening. Watch some sports.
There's not enough bourbon to do an MLB rear draft. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Please do not watch any New York Mets baseball. They have done harm on me over the past few days. I was subjected to 2 Mets losses in one day. I won't say against who, but some slobs in the north side of Chicago that still believe piss troughs is a cool thing. There's your hand signal right there, Nick. Anyway, watch the World Cup. The World Cup is pretty cool.
In all seriousness, Friday, I have to go to the doctor for a shoulder injury, and that's legitimate. I do have to go. I'm going to ask him, though, is it because I've been doing the sweeping motion too much? I don't know if it's too much. I don't understand, is that detrimental to my,
And everybody, we will see you next week.
Thank you guys for being on. Really do appreciate it. Even though Ricky won't say it, the terrible host that he is.
Whatever.
But
All right,
other
see
than
you
watching
guys.
terrible Mets baseball and avoiding that like the plague, what should people do between now and next week?
Watch some sports. There's the AF one if you're into that. The Nashville Cats are the best team in the league. There's baseball. The NBA draft just happened, so be prepared for sometime next week is whenever the new year starts. So that's when free agency officially starts. Sorry, Griffin, you didn't get Austin Reeves. He stays at the Lakers.
We got Julius Randle, even better.
God, imagine how many assists Julius Randle and Michael Porter Jr. are going to have with each other. Drake, you have your Braves baseball. You have it at least. You have baseball to watch. That's fun.
Yeah, it's on a downward spiral right now. But
Well, be 11 games under 500 and step in my fucking shoes. Thank you. Everybody, have a good night.
Put it in the box!
So long, everybody.